out. Star Citizen. Jeez, I couldn't think of the name. Okay, so I'm trying to beat the clock here as we have the sun going down ever so slowly. And I guess this kind of picks up where we left off last time, where, well, at least we left off in the city here. We're trying to show people the difference between, or not the difference. Okay, so let me rewind a sec here. I'm getting ahead of myself. I get excited, dude, thinking about playing 104 in the console, because this is where we play, you know? So 104 is going to change fundamentally. I know I've covered this before, but it's worth noting again. Server hopping changes everything. You can now barricade yourself in buildings, build walls, and nobody can ghost into another server and come back on the server and get inside your base. They have to breach the base entirely to get in. And walls now hold more HP. It takes longer for them to get knocked down. There's a soft side and hard side to the wall. There's all kinds of changes. So with that in mind, well, actually, okay, let me go back to the server hopping. The server hopping also means when somebody who's geared jumps servers, they're going to be inland a bit. So they're going to be even further away from you. So I think building in a band closest to the shoreline is pretty wise to start. Yes, you could run into freshies, but let's be honest, freshies are freshies. They're not going to have anything. So that's going to be a good place to start. What's up, J Otto? What's up, my dude? Or whatever you post in there, I missed it. So we are currently in Cherno City. We cut up Cherno into two parts, Cherno Industrial and Cherno City. So Cherno City is F1 on the map, and Cherno Industrial is E1, E2. I'll leave that up for a second so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully Razor gets in here. Come on, buddy. I love your bush. Okay. So we're in Cherno City, so it brings up another interesting question. Actually, let me kind of show you where I'm at. So you saw the railroad house we came from. That's the police station. We'll show the clock tower here. What's up, Razor? What's up, baby? You want me to come up back to the train station and come get you? There's the clock tower in Cherno City. Okay, let me see. Yeah, whoever's on that server. Oh, look, see, there's so much dupe trash here. Anyway, so going back to 104, because the first thing you're going to do when you spawn in is you're going to realize that you're going to want to create an area of fortification. And building a base on the cheap, even just securing an area is going to be your first priority almost. Well, maybe not your first priority, but it's pretty high on your list once you get things kind of sorted out. So we started to pick areas in various cities, and this is one of them. And back here, we found that having actual structures here that are these apartment buildings that you can lock up makes a lot of sense to us. Can I not open this? I was going to say, did I lock that? Oh, no. So roping off these areas like this that already have pre-built doors helps a lot initially, especially if you have a lockpick. Please note that in 104, you can breach doors with melee, just to make sure everybody's thinking about that. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try to make or fortify an area. You definitely do want to do those things, but at least you'll hear them coming, so. Okay, so going back here, last time we kind of tried this, but it got a little hectic. But if you look back here, creating a wall here, an additional wall there, and right here. This is a bit more on the expensive side as it takes 3 walls to do it. But this is quite nice to get started. The reason why we have 3 and it's coming out here is you don't want people walking up this wall and then circumventing your walls by just dropping in. So thankfully there's been a bunch of dupers up and down the shoreline, so we've just been taking their stuff. We figured we might as well put some good use to it. And so we grabbed this stuff. Hopefully I have everything we need. I think we do. And I'm going to show you how to do this on the cheap, as that's how it's going to be played when you actually have standard looting, right? Like, we know what it feels like to actually have normal loot. We've been playing 104 for a while now, so believe me, it's nice. So we'll show you how to do this on the cheap first. And then you want to go from cheap to more expensive as you go, but you definitely want to make sure you cover your bases, because if these walls aren't constructed, you're not going to have anything to keep people back off your loot. So Let me make sure I have this hotkeyed. Okay, so a hatchet works as both a dismantler and also a crafting. Again, I do have guides on the DayZ Highlights playlist that go over building basics, so if you're wondering what that's all about. I'll go ahead and link that. It's also in the description below, but if this turns out as a video later, I'll make sure it's a card right now at the top. Okay, so just making sure we have the basics here. I'm going to just do the frames, and this is going to be very familiar to a lot of you. Oh, nice. Red Fox says, I love your videos, man. Thanks, dude. And we're just going to do the framing first. Oh, do I not have enough of those? I don't. Sorry. Okay, let me walk around. Razor, I will get you in a sec here. I just want to make sure I'm trying to beat the clock here with the sunlight. I want to make sure we have enough. Oh, nice. Okay, so I was hoping... We kind of stole all this. Not kind of, we did. We stole all this stuff from dupers up and down the shoreline. And I was hoping that when I moved it here, people would be uninterested in it. And so far, I think I'm right. That's good, though. We didn't want people to mess with this. Okay, build lower frame. Now, since we already have entry points, I don't have to worry about making a gate, which is another positive of this location. Because that takes metal wire. It also takes pliers as well. And you need a combo lock, whether it's a 4-banger or a 3. And those, the 3-banger, I'm sorry, the 4-banger is 4-slot combination lock. Wow, I can't say that really fast. 4-slot combination lock is new to 104, which is nice. I don't think we really have to worry about brute force here on the Xbox or PlayStation. And we're just going to do frames first. Now, in 102, you can easily crawl through that bottom portion with no wall there. It is more difficult to do in 104. I'm sorry, this version is 102, so it's easy to crawl through these, but in 104 it's more difficult. It's not impossible, but it's more difficult. But if you do make a wall and you place something on the inside here, it's virtually impossible to cross through. Or it's not impossible, but it's definitely a lot more difficult to get to. By the way, the unlimited tape glitch does still work in 104. Alright, and we're just trying to get the basics here. Do we have enough plankage? Let me grab another stack. We just want to make sure we have enough. Or we can get really gangster with it. Didn't we have, like, metal somewhere? Oh, we do, totally. And you'll see, okay, so this is unrealistic in the sense where you will probably not have metal to start, but if you do, by all means, go ahead and use it. And we'll do it on the cheap, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. Since you have a frame on top, and you'll make a complete wall on the bottom, geez, I can't talk. People can't jump in. Now, they can shoot over it, but let's be honest, who's going to be that paid when you get in, you know? Okay, Razor, come out of the train station when you see the police station and come down. You'll see me. I'll step outside, or I'll step over to the side. I have a white helmet on, so I'm easy to spot. So the reason why I stuck the metal on this lower portion is that's the more difficult one to break through. And honestly, you don't even need the upper wall built initially, because this is enough to stop people if you actually had all of these built out. So let me just make sure we have this bottom portion lit up here. Oh wait, I don't have my nails yet. And just something as simple as this, you've already created an area that's locked out. Now you will need a lockpick because clearly the buildings are still open. But this definitely gets you started. Let me get that upper frame, then we go get a razor. Upper frame. Wow, it did the glitch thing. I hate it when it does that. We'll go grab razor. And the other good thing as we're heading out here, if you had multiple members in your party, duo, triples, or higher, or even solo, you can have them start to add and rope off areas like over here, some of the additional buildings over here, so then when you do get it going, Razor! When you do get it going eventually, I hope that is Razor. Razor! I'm gonna stick my pants in my hand so he doesn't clip me. Does he know that? I hope that's him, or we're gonna be on the beach. So yeah, to go back to this, if people are adding in your little village or your group and everybody's kind of securing an area here, this whole courtyard could be extremely fortified long term. And you can even make areas where you can pull a vehicle in and still protect it heavily. Because think about it, these spots here are going to be all controlled by you and your team. So it's almost like a little village that becomes one big castle, and it becomes very defendable. And let's be honest, you want to be next to loot areas. Let me show you another map here of Cherno City. It's on the lower center of the map there. There's tons of places you can loot, more residential, even industrial if you go more to the right of the map. And even some military areas. I mean, it's not like riddled with military loot, but it's around. So like you can keep making those journeys and coming back to your stronghold. So it makes a ton of sense, and it's really going to help out. We're going to finish the rest of this. Let me grab Razor. Hello. Are you in? Are you out of the party so you can talk to me in here? Here, walk with me. Wee. Walk with me, my dude. Yeah, occasionally you have this glitch in 102 where whatever you're building is not actually the next phase. As far as we know, that's not a glitch in 104. We have done some building so far, so that's good news. Alright, let me see if I can finish this little piece so you can see what I'm talking about. Build lower wall, upper frame. Wait, there is no date. Yeah, not yet. We're just hoping. See what I mean? It's gonna build the right side, isn't it? Well, at least we get to show off how the platform. Oh, that time it worked. What the hell? All right, let's do the fix. Now, if you have duct tape and a hatchet, that's where it's at, really. And also to find nails, you would find those in the industrial areas as well, which is right next to Cherno. Remember, we split it up into two sections, mostly because I can't read Russian. Cherno City and Cherno Industrial. Cherno Industrial has all kinds of things. Building materials, tools, car parts. And if you look at the map here, the orange circles are potential spawns for Olgas and or Gunters. So another great reason to be in the center of this city. And let's be honest, the zombies can also act as a defense too, because if somebody makes enough noise, they're going to swarm that person, give you advance notice of when they're coming, and they'll actually be kind of like bear traps for you in a way. Kind of. I love you. I hope that's Razor. I'll grab him here in a sec. I just want to make sure I grab all this. Next material. Grab this. Lower metal wall. I hope that builds what I think it does. What's up, Pencil? It says, hi, Jade. Great stream as always. Thanks. He says, in 104, can you still eat raw food? You can eat it, but I would not recommend it. You will get all kinds of sickness, and it's super hard to get rid of. Not super hard, but it's annoying to get rid of, so. And if you do have the metal sheets, you can see right here, I did continue this wall up the side, which makes a ton of sense after you've got the pieces and parts. But even with this little lip here, we have a shooting area. And if I did this wall a little bit better, we wouldn't have this gap here, but... And let me just go ahead and show you how this is cordoned off. We're going to lock this. Then we're going to make sure that the buildings don't have any entry points. This is a nice one, by the way. As a little side note, this one kind of L's over into the side. This actually opens up into a room that you can shoot from and look from, but people cannot enter. This is a bathroom. And this looks into the courtyard that has the clock tower. You can see it through the window. So this is a nice shooting area, or just a place to do a little bit of watch. And this is the entry point in the front, and I would suggest a barricade or barrels or both, or you can even stick a wall in here, I believe, and actually build it up, which would probably be the more preferable option. Why did I take out a hatchet? That doesn't make any sense. Let me lock this door. Now, obviously, people can still shoot through that. And it's also worth noting that when you do lock a door, they will become unlocked after a server restart. And people can breach doors with melee weapons in 104. So building is preferred, because that's definitely the thicker of the two. And this is another entry point on this side, so we'll make sure this is all locked up. We'll lock this door as it's harder to secure this other side. Actually, let me show you. We can secure this, we just have to put a wall in here, or on the exterior. I think we could fit one on the inside. Yeah, we sure can. And we'll do that here in a minute. If you did lock off this entryway, this would be a great place to walk up and then protect your courtyard down here. See, there's Razor. Hi, Razor! So all this really cost us were 3 walls, which is totally doable. And by the way, those metal walls we did, we can do those as as wooden planks. Oh yeah, I should also say, let me go ahead and lock this door. Wooden planks are also in this area, or potentially in this area, so another good reason to set up shop here. And with the server hopping, or anti-server hopping, anti-ghosting, I don't know what it's called officially, it keeps people out of your base. So you're in a hotbed of lootable areas, quite easy to defend right off the rip. So all you really need are planks, building materials, nails, hatchet, and a lockpick. This build does require a lockpick, as you do have these doors, but I wouldn't let that get in the way of you actually starting this build, because lockpicks are fairly common. And so you just keep pushing, and then you can start to stack your loot and your team in these areas and continue to build up even further from here. Yes! I love you, Razor. Alright, I'm going to send you a party invite. Give me a sec. I love your bush. It smells good to me.